All right. Our board is becoming fuller. I've added another word or two to our board. So we had talked about order and metabolism being characteristics that are present in life, but are also shared with some non-living entities. Now, motility. In science, we always have these words that are similar to everyday speech but different. So instead of saying mobility, no. In science, we don't say mobility. We say motility. It sounds better, and it is the scientific term for movement. And so, of course, here, look at me. I'm wiggling around and making funny faces to my telephone as I'm recording. And so, obviously, living things can move. Now, you might say, well, what about the flowers out there? And we like to feed the birds. I'm a field biologist originally, as I've told you. And what you find is when you feed the birds, you have sunflower seeds, and sort of a accidental, as an accident, you end up with sunflowers below your bird feeder. And sunflowers are really unique flowers because that big head, you know, the sun migrates from east to west, right? And so that head from that sunflower is going to follow the sun throughout the day. It moves. And there are certain kinds of flowers that open up in the morning, morning glory, and in the evening they close back up. They move. So their motility is an example of life, but it's also an example of non-living entities. Cars, motorcycles, you know, that kind of thing. They move. A baseball, it moves. Doesn't move on its own. But what about if you poke your car in the side? Give it a poke in its side. It doesn't do anything. It just sits there like a hunk of steel because that's what it is. But if you go up to your neighbor and poke them in the side, they might turn around and smack you, right? Why is that? It's because they are responsive. Look, it's our next category. Characteristics exclusive to life. So you respond. And in some cases, it's a very complex response, you know, a social type of response. Let me take a quick look down here. Yeah, there's nothing, not a whole lot more to say. You know, if you touch a beetle, it's going to turn and run the other direction, or you poke a bee, it might come and sting you. But in all of these cases, there is a decision process and a response. And this is responsiveness. All right, so let's think about what are some other things that help us to know that thing up there is not alive. I've had that up there for a long time. Think about that for a few minutes.